Hello and welcome to the Hold My Beer Marketing Podcast. I am, of course, Jake the Wizard. I got here Mitch. What's up, Mitch?
What up? I'm back. I'm back, y'all.
You're back. Back again. And then I'm dated. I'm aged, I'm dated, and there it is.
Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years. That one's even
Well,
worse.
oh, yeah. Yeah, no, you are really old. I'm old.
Yeah.
You're really old.
Five whole years older than you. I'm so old.
You're so old. You're basically like a Viking at this point.
But dude, I'll tell you what makes you feel old. I went to my coffee shop this morning, and one of the guys there it was his birthday. I'm like, oh, how old are you turning? 22. I was like, oh my god, you're just a baby. Like 22. Oh, it'll be 22 again, and my knees not hurt and all that. Like, oh, that'd be glorious.
Yeah, here's the problem. 22-year-old Jake was an absolute dick.
Oh yeah,
Thought he knew everything.
Yeah, 22-year-old me was a problem.
Now I'm much older and I go, wow, there is so dang much I don't know.
Oh, for real. But imagine if we could, had a hypothetical world, take all the knowledge we have right now back to that time and have the same technology that we like have access to right now.
Oh, I just want to go back. I want to do what's his name from Back to the Future when he gets the almanac?
Oh, yeah. Was that I want to say
Oh,
Bert, but it's not that. Biff.
Biff, yes. I want to go back because then I'll know exactly how the algorithms change and I can stay ahead of it and
Dude.
make a ton of money and retire early and own a jet ski. I don't know why that.
Of all the things to own being rich, you're like jet ski.
Well, it's a premium, watercraft if you've seen Loki.
Yes, true.
But if you've never been here before, welcome. This is a marketing podcast where we talk about the latest news, hits, tricks, tips, what we're thinking about, what we're doing, and of course, we always have everyone's favorite segment at the end, the 7 minutes of heaven, where we break down a site humorously, lovingly, but all in hopes of improving it. So please stick around for that one towards the end of the episode. I figure we should just dive right into the news of the week.
Let's do it.
Oakley dokley, artichokely.
We should get like one of those soundboards that like the Mad Money guy has, so we could just like hit random sounds.
I've got one. We could do it. It's possible.
There we go.
Anything's possible. Okay.
Oh yeah, the CarMax Beetlejuice commercial. I love this.
Well, so you know me. Every week I feel like I gotta highlight now my collab of the week.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, this one was the hotness, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right now with current culture, media culture, we go in these big waves of stuff, right? For a while it was Dune, and then we had, last year was Barbie Oppenheimer. Everything was around that. And so I'm seeing a lot more businesses taking advantage of current culture, and this is no exception to that. You can even see here on the right other articles about Jeremy Allen White rocking some Calvin Kleins. He's one of the hottest actors on the planet right now. JanSport is doubling down on Gen Z, which is hilarious. But we're here to talk about Beetlejuice CarMax ad. Figured I'd just play it. Let's go.
Why do we need a new car? I love this thing.
We thought this was a CarMax.
Beetlemax?
What's a Beetlemax? Beetlemax.
Deo, me say Deo. Scary bad deals just one scream away. Beetlemax, Beetlemax, third time's a charm. Scary bad deals just one scream away. We don't have CarMax, no haggle price, but we can guarantee lots of surprise.
We can't give you CarMax peace of mind, but we'll give you an actual peace of mind.
CarMax!
One scream away.
What do you think?
Do you have one in black?
Sure thing.
Deo, me say Deo.
CarMax, the way car buying should be. Beetlemax, the way car buying shouldn't be.
It's epic.
Oh my goodness. That's one of the better ads I've seen in a while.
Mm-hmm. No,
If you're going to do commercials.
There's so much piggybacking right now with the Beetlejuice stuff. Like it's like all the Deadpool
Totally.
collabs, same thing. Like it's that I saw that one on I think a Hulu commercial or something, and I was just like, oh my god, that's like perfect. Beetlemax and all the dancing and singing, and it to me, it's going to intrigue the newer generations, right? That never saw Beetlejuice, and then it is very what's the word I'm looking for? It's just a callback to like our childhoods and our parents, younger
Totally.
years. Like,
I did a video a couple weeks ago about nostalgia maxing
mm-hmm.
and how businesses are taking advantage of that. It's so interesting how, like, specifically the millennial generation and some of the X generation are so nostalgic, because I
Mm-hmm.
don't see that as much in the younger generations. Now, granted, they're younger, obviously, so they don't have as much to be nostalgic about, but at the same time, like, they're just not adopting nostalgia as much, in my opinion. Like, I look at Christmas, right? Christmas is the maximum nostalgia event of the entire year ever, and Gen Z and Alpha are they don't care.
No, well, I think there's a lot that goes into that. I mean, like think about it. Like we all, you're younger than me, but like there were no cell phones. There was hardly TV for some of our parents. Like they just walked on the moon. I mean, it was like it's totally different era to where like Gen Z. What do they have to be nostalgic about? Like their first phones were iPhones. Like
Yeah.
my little brother, who is a baby millennial, I'm like, what would he have? His first phone was an iPhone. I'm like, yo, you didn't even go through like the Nokia brick. Just as an example of like nostalgia. They don't really have the movies to be nostalgic about either. Like for us, Beetlejuice, Terminator, stuff like that. You make a Terminator reference, and they're like, what's Skynet? And I'm like, what? Like, I made a Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego reference to some 26-year-olds, and then they're like, who's that? Is she okay? I'm like, what?
She's stealing Seoul in South Korea.
Yes. But it will be interesting to see as Gen Z and obviously Alpha, which are very young, as we get older and they get older, what they do become nostalgic about.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting, because I'm thinking like specific vines, or like if Dunkin' Donuts, here you go, here's your idea. Go get the guy who made the muffins video on YouTube like 15 years ago that went absolutely viral.
Mm-hmm.
Like Boysenberry, that guy.
Yeah.
Your ad would clean up.
True. Interesting. Yeah, it's just yeah. But nostalgia, man, it does it for us. Takes us back, and we get to reminisce about it, and we'll watch that.
Oh, absolutely. All right, let's get into some real stuff. So more is coming out from the big antitrust Google lawsuit, and it was revealed through documentation that was released and all that stuff that Google was paying agencies to get them to prioritize Google ads for their clients.
Evil laugh.
So again, what is this going to mean? I don't know, but it's not looking good for Google as a company right now.
Wow. I mean, I know a lot of us media buyers have been pissed off at Google for a long time, but like, who did they really piss off to like get this kind of digging to happen into everything? And that's some balls to pay agencies to prioritize them, not thinking it's ever going to come out. Like now, not to like kind of change topics, but like Facebook's got to be next. Like Facebook has to be next because they're the other ones that everybody's pissed off about.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I think it's got to be somebody who hasn't been playing in the game. Like Apple is the first one that comes to my mind.
Yeah. Which I think we kind of talked about, where it was like, if you think about it, like if I'm Apple and I want to come out with my own search platform and all these different things, like I need to hurt and cripple my biggest competitor. And like
Absolutely.
clear the way, but like do it in a way where it's not me doing it, but like, hey, we'll pay somebody else to do it. So like what do they go on to say in this thing about paying agencies? Like just, I mean, obviously hundreds of millions to sway media buys, but like that's just insane.
Yeah, so basically they were paying out, like, think of it like not royalties, like
Commission?
sharing program. Like, hey, 10% comes back to you that you get people to spend on the platform and stuff like that.
Wow. So, question for you, because I feel like you're a lawyer and you should know this. What do you think, if any, kind of blowback could come back on the agencies that were doing that?
I don't know. My gut says nothing.
Mm.
My gut says nothing because they don't own the platform.
But you were being paid to take my ad dollars and put them on a platform that may not have been the best fit for me.
Sure, but when does that not happen every day? I mean, I get messages every day on TikTok saying, "Hey, promote this new tool thing platform." My standing answer is, "Give me access for a month and a half. I will play with it and I'll let you know if it's worth, recommending."
Right.
I have a little bit of what we call scruples
Mm-hmm.
when I recommend stuff to people, but I know I'm in a vast minority,
Oh, yeah.
like extreme minority when it comes to that. So
Right.
people make videos for stuff all the time. I look at the pricing for these influencers because we work with customers to hire influencers to do stuff all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the stuff they ask for, I go, "That's it? That's all you want?"
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like I've got a 500,000 followers on Instagram. It's $150 for me to make a video.
That's just insane. Yeah, I guess I could see how it's kind of related to that, but yeah, it'll be interesting, like, because more has got to come out of all this, and like, they're obviously like this is new, like there's more is going to trickle out, but what's the whole trickle down effect going to be, all the way down to the agency level? Because I mean, if I just my own 2 cents, like if I was my business and I'm going through Joe Blow's agency, and Joe Blow kept recommending that we just do Google ads, Google ads, Google ads, and we never really gained much traction and made much money, but I spent a ton of money. And then I find out that they were a part of it. Like, let's say the list of agencies becomes public. I'm going to come back to you and be like, dude, you owe me money back. You screwed me over. You were getting paid
Oh
by
yeah,
Google.
there's definitely going to be some sort of civil lawsuit that we'll see for
Yeah.
sure. Whether they'll win it or not, I don't know.
Right.
But because and that's one thing we're going to talk about later in this episode is like marketing isn't a guaranteed thing. And if you're a smart agency, you don't guarantee things. In fact, I commonly say if a marketing company does guarantee you something,
Run.
red flag.
Yep.
Big red flag, because you just can't. I have a client right now that wants to sign up. They're ready to sign up, but they said we can't sign up unless you tell us exactly how many leads we can expect over the next 6 months.
No.
And I'm just like, I guess we're at an impasse because
Yep.
I'm not going to put a number out there and say this is it. Now they've got a new site. If they had 2 years of data and we could say, okay, for on average, every 75 clicks you get is a lead, maybe we could make some sort of projection.
Right.
But even still, that's not a guarantee in
No.
any way, shape, or form.
I literally went through this. I'll save the story for later, but I have a story about that with one of my active clients with increasing ad spend and wanting to know how much, like, tell me how many more we can get. I'll tell you my reply, but I'll save that for later so that we don't jump around too much.
So you'll like this one. Liquor Studio now can't see auction insights from Google Ads.
What?
So
how does that work? They own it.
But we don't want you sending people reports about it.
Oh my goodness. Do they say why? Why? Like, I'm always like, Google, go home. You're drunk. Like, again, what is going on?
They recommend removing these fields from your reports and charts: auction insights, absolute top of page, position above rate, impression share, outranking share, overlap rate, top of page rate. So, like, important data?
Yeah, I was just gonna. I mean, like, granted, now that your average business owner is not going to understand this, let alone junior media buyers on some of this stuff. Your top of page rate, auction, like, your impression shares, loss due to budget, blah blah blah. But like, if I have an internal dashboard that we use, and that's where we've been looking at this stuff, to lose that insight, that's crazy. Because like, that's stuff that we use actively in columns and dashboards to optimize. What is the impression share? What is the overlap rate? What is the top of page? Where are we losing? What can we optimize more? Wow.
Bye-bye. It's still in Google Ads. You just got to go in there and see it.
What is like Google's like a crazy drunk teenager right now?
Oh, it keeps going.
Oh, I can't wait.
They accidentally released their internal tool set to some accounts. Yep. So some advertisers were noticing that there was an extra button on their sidebar called internal tools.
No.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now, apparently some people couldn't get it to load, some people could. It had some audience controls within it. But all in all, like hilarity.
I'm just like shocked. Like, okay, this feels like some like Twitter after Elon Musk bought it kind of thing, like just absolute chaos and like stuff breaks. But like, bro, this is Google. What is going on? There's searches all over the place. Their AI is telling you to put glue on your pizza. Now they're releasing it to. This is hilarious. Like, I'm dying. Like, I don't even know if I have any feedback on this. Like, I'm just dying and like laughing. This is amazing. It seems like every week Google is doing some crazy methed out thing. Who gave Google crack? That's what I want to know. This is amazing.
Oh my gosh. Google go home. This is cool. YouTube is starting to roll out paid courses through YouTube channels.
Oh.
They said they were tired of all of these other platforms getting a cut of all these amazing courses, so they're going to bring it in-house themselves.
So they're trying to be what? Kajabi, Udemy, School?
Pretty much. Yep.
Interesting.
Honestly, I think this has been a long time coming. Like, I'm surprised this isn't already a thing.
No, 100%.
If you are a creator on YouTube and you do have a course, YouTube's where you get the most exposure, period. Mm-hmm. So if YouTube's going to let you host your course there and make money there, probably worth doing.
Yeah. I don't think this is a drunk move. This is a good move. Like this
is a good move.
This was a sober move by Google for sure. Yeah, it makes sense because you get to like go to their channel. You already watch their stuff. Oh, hey, I can buy that and they just like take the courses right here. Pff, done. I don't have to go to another platform. Great.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I would imagine advertising those courses is going to get easier and easier as well.
Oh, for sure.
Because it's all integrated together. So HubSpot dropped this article about testing button text and what's working and what's not. I'm not going to make you read the whole article. I did it, but what they found out was putting the word free in your button reduces click-through rate right now.
Really?
People don't want it to say free. Even if it is free, get the PDF now.
Right.
Not get the free PDF. They saw a 4 to 7% drop-off rate when they added the word free.
Interesting. I wonder what is turning people off with the word.
It feels like a trap now. We've been overusing it as marketers.
That's very true. And we all know nothing's really free. Like, you got to give up your information, and now you know you're going to get spammed. So
right. And so if it says free and I click it and it doesn't start downloading and asks me for my email, I feel cheated.
True.
Whereas if I click it and it says get the PDF and then it asks for the email, I go, okay, that's what I expected.
Interesting. We took the L so you don't have to. Thanks, HubSpot. I'm sure a lot of people are taking an L right now with the word free in their buttons.
I'm almost thinking like if free shipping needs to be changed to shipping included.
That would be an interesting test. I actually think I'm going to put that to work. See on a few of my e-commerce clients if we can change that, because free shipping, like shipping included on orders over X amount. That does flow better because free shipping is so overplayed. I mean, we've been using that for 20 plus years. Like,
well, and what that does, if we're going to break that down real quick, is that it says the product costs way more than it should. But if I say the shipping's included in this price, I'm actually getting more value for that spend because I know I'm paying the shipping and the product.
Right.
Could be an interesting play.
Yeah, because it kind of be like Europe, where all over their sites it always says VAT included. Like they don't charge an additional tax like we do over here on
Right.
everything. They just
Right.
include it in their product price. So if they have a 10% VAT, they just mark their stuff up, to cover that 10%, and then they pay it out of that. So if you and you know what, that actually that idea of yours coincides to a degree with what I've tried to tell clients numerous times, and even in my ecom business back in the day, where it was like, put the shipping price in the cost of the product and just do free shipping all the time. Like it's really not going to cost you that much more. And if you pad in $5, like so be it. But like that whole shipping included, free shipping is a huge selling point. But changing the verbiage, I never thought about that.
Yeah. So
You're smart. This is why you do marketing.
I've done this a little bit.
Yeah. This is why we keep you around, Jake. It's why we keep you around.
That's why. Not my absolutely perfect coiffed of hair.
Well, it's hair first, idea second. Yeah.
Here's a big one. If you use this plugin on your WordPress, you need to know this.
Oh, yeah.
WPML, which is WordPress multi-language, which automatically converts your site from one language to many, which is a very, very popular tool. We use it on some of our sites. They had a vulnerability allowing people to basically take remote actions on your site through the plugin. It has, I believe, been patched. There is an update to fix it, but you need to go update it. So if you're not updating your plugins on a regular basis, this could leave you exposed.
Don't want to be vulnerable.
No, nobody wants to be vulnerable unless you're paying for it.
Yes, go patch the vulnerability.
Yeah, so simply update your plugin. Should be good, but if you are using WPML, please, I don't want you to get hacked. I don't want you to get your site destroyed. Also, another great thing, backups. If the hosting system you're using does not do daily backups, it's outdated. It's not good. Everything should come standard with daily backups. It makes no sense. The compression's great. The storage size isn't that bad. It holds it for 30 days. That way, if anything happens, you can always roll your site back. So,
I've had to do that for clients that weren't even like, we had nothing to do with their website, but like their website people were taking too long. And one time one of them did not have backups. So that was an absolute nightmare to figure out which plugin broke when it updated, and then broke the entire site. And it was an e-commerce site, but then I got them on doing backups, and then it broke again. And I just was like, nope, we're rolling back. Like literally rolled the entire website back, and then like disabled automatic updates. Like that's another big thing for me on WordPress, like disable automatic updates, because you'll wake up one morning and your website will just be completely trashed. And you're like, what happened? And now you got to figure out what broke.
Yeah. I'll give a quick shout out here to WP Engine, who we use for all of our WordPress clients. They have an auto updater that is outside of WordPress through their hosting that screenshots several pages of your site, then updates and compares the screenshots. If anything changes, it will roll back the update and then let you know, hey, this plugin caused a problem when we updated it.
Does that automatically?
It does that automatically.
That's dope. Hell yeah.
Yeah. So cool feature of WP Engine. Highly recommend it.
Yeah. Nice.
So, okay. We need to talk about Google Algorithmic update, because this is getting absolutely crazy. So last week I dropped in the chat that there was an algorithmic update beginning, and it's still rolling out. This has been the most disruptive algorithmic update I have ever seen. And I've been doing this a long time. So what is getting disrupted? Right now, I am seeing accounts that had very low impressions and clicks start to skyrocket impressions and clicks over the last 14 days. But sites that were doing well have had a massive, massive drop in their impressions and clicks. Now, here's what you need to hold on to. If this is happening to you, sit tight. Because if you look at your Google Search Console and you look at your rankings are unchanged. There is something going on with the actual presentation on the Google search showing people that aren't ranking correct. It's not showing the rankings correctly for some reason. but your rankings are unchanged. So once this whole shenanigan ends, it should go back to normal. Now, I sent out a note to all of my clients about this, but I want to share it here because I think it's important to know this. This update could be good for smaller sites. They're actually working on correcting some of the erroneous things that they did with the helpful content updates. They've told us that about this update. So they are trying to do something positive right now. At least that's what they tell us. We'll see. That is something we should be holding on to and being excited about in this update. And the second reason why we actually kind of need to thank Google for this is because historically, sites underperform in August and early September. Just in general. Now, that might not be true about every site, but as a general rule, August and early September are low performing months for most sites in organic search because of the way American society is structured. We've got people going back to school. We've got people taking last minute vacations towards the end of the summer. There's a lot of other expenses going on in people's lives right now. So they're not buying as much during this period of time. If they had rolled this out in October, leading into Black Friday, Christmas season, big purchase spend time, this could have been really painful for businesses. And I'm sure it's painful right now too, but not as painful as it could have been. So we actually need to kind of give a small okay, Google, we knew you had to do this. Thanks for picking a good time to do this because it could have been way worse. Imagine if they rolled this update out the middle of November.
Oh man, dude, that'd have been just a nightmare. Even in October, middle of October,
Yeah, so we have to give a little bit of grace where grace is due. Google has to do this. They have to continue to improve their algorithm. And they chose a period of time that historically is a low performing period of time for the majority of businesses. So, and just to show you, this is a SERP volatility tracker, which tells us how out of the normal are Google search rankings. The normal spot for this graph to live is about 4. I don't think I've ever seen it hit a 10 ever in the years that I've been doing this. Maybe once or twice. You can see here for the last 14 days, we've had a volatility of 10. And for the last 30 days, our average volatility is like 9.6.
not volatile at all.
Not volatile at all. No. So again, this is one of those things where it's like, if you're doing SEO, you have an SEO agency and you're looking at them going, what the hell are you guys doing? They're not doing anything. Don't beat them up. Don't destroy them. Okay. This is out of their hands. And this leads into what I wanted to talk a little bit more about, which is no matter what the element is, marketing is not guaranteed. No matter if it's SEO or paid ads or paying influencers or doing social media or doing a campaign or an email rollout, there is no such thing as guaranteed marketing. And so if you are working with an agency and they have a campaign that doesn't do well or doesn't explode quite as much as you hoped it would or that they claimed it would, you have to give some grace because we don't control everything.
100%. We don't own Facebook. We don't own the algorithms. We don't own Google. We don't own TikTok. We're basically, no matter what any of us are doing, whether it's SEO, paid ads, it's educated gambling is how I like to explain it to people at this point, where it's based off data, based off of historical information and what we think will work in is that, due to data makes it look like, yeah, this will work. Like it's all educated gambling. And
absolutely,
we don't control the updates. I mean, it's like Google, due to August 5th, Google started to get all wonky again. But we're also like, while you have this SEO thing happening, and like if you're doing SEO, like you definitely got to give your SEO agency some grace right here, because this is not their fault. Like they can't fix it. Just like I can't fix the sudden spike in Facebook CPMs a week prior to the DNC and during the week of the DNC, and then now they're starting to come back down. I had no control over that. I pulled every effing trick that I know to get that thing to come down, but we saw spikes up to $300 CPM, mainly for female-oriented brands. Why? Because the DNC was dumping a ton of money into the ecosystem across all platforms focused on women because Kamala is a woman, and that is totally fine. But I don't control that. I don't like we don't control that. So you got to just kind of like buckle up and understand like shit goes up and down. We may think a certain creative is going to hit and it doesn't hit. There's so much that's out of our control. One thing you said I did want to touch on. In my opinion, if an agency is like, yeah, this campaign will do great, it's also kind of a red flag because we don't know. It's literally testing. Like we're testing everything. And that's the same way across every facet of marketing. Like we don't know with 100% certainty what's going to hit and what's not. I've had videos where I thought for sure this video versus this other video was going to hit real hard, and the opposite did. But it's like, what? Even historical data can be wrong. Different areas, different cultures. Back to that, I was going to tell you the story. So I had a client reach out the end of last week, and they're in the wedding business, wedding photography, and they want more leads. And I'm like, okay, like we've already squeezed every ounce that we can out of the money you have. I need more ad spend. And they're like, okay, well, how much more do you need? And how many more leads can you guarantee? And I literally sent back, well, based on the math, if all things were to hold true, this is what could possibly happen. However, this is not a guarantee, as there are multiple factors that are outside of our control, including consumer buying behavior, the algorithms, and rolling into fourth quarter. But based on the math, this is the potential. I will not guarantee it, though.
Yeah,
again,
absolutely. And another thing that like it baffles me, which is
get on your soapbox, do it, get on it.
No, it's not a soapbox. It's not a soapbox, okay? Because I want to be gentle with this, because I work with business owners. I'm a business owner, okay? I work with business owners, but I am very close to marketing, right? That's what I do. I live and breathe and eat and sleep and poop and everything marketing.
You poop marketing? Nice.
Dude, you should see some of these marketing poops. The graphs on them, holy smokes. But you're not the only one doing marketing.
Right.
I have a client right now that we've been working on their SEO. They've been a tailspin for 2 years. It took us about 3 months to stop the bleed. We're starting to climb again. And he's sending me emails about, well, why are these competitors above me? And I'm like, probably because they've been doing the right kind of SEO for the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, well, we should be able to beat them. And I go, possibly. But here's the thing. If you start a race 10 seconds after everyone else, it's a lot harder to win.
Mm-hmm.
It's not impossible, but it is a lot harder to win. And so you have to understand that it's not just a bubble of your own marketing that you're living in.
Right.
We're all doing all the same things, and we're trying to eke an edge out of one another as a marketing agency.
Mm-hmm.
And so you might come up with the most brilliant campaign that you think is going to just kill. But the moment you run it, if someone else runs a similar campaign, it's going to reduce your effectiveness because it's competition.
Yep.
So, have that mindset, right? Have that mindset. If you're coming into a space, especially as a brand new website, if you're coming in as a brand new website, a brand new company into a space, you are 15 to 35 years behind.
Yeah.
You are not going to just jump. Like I talk with insurance people, reach out to me. Hey, I want to get more book of business on my insurance. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay. You're not going to be Aflac in 6 months because you spent some minimal SEO marketing dollars.
Yeah.
It's just not going to work that way because you're in competition in the marketplace. There is a lot of stuff being put out there to gain attention, not just yours. And that's why differentiation, or as you like to say, a blue pond in a bloody ocean, finding an underserved community or an underserved aspect of a community is a great way to build up more quickly and kind of get a foothold.
Mm-hmm.
You have to spend the time to figure that out, which some people don't want to do.
Most, yeah.
You have to, acknowledge that as a fact. If you just come in and you have the same product as 10 other companies and they've been around 10 years, it's going to be hard to beat them.
Oh,
You got to find some
100%.
other way. Customer service, a single feature that other people don't have that people have been begging for years. A unique combination of something. A different kind of story to tell. Like, these are ways to differentiate that can help your marketing succeed. But like, if I live in Phoenix, there's a lot of taco shops here.
No, I bet, yeah.
If I open a taco shop with no differentiator, I'm going to struggle to get going. Yeah, I'll get business because I'm just existing. But unless I have something, the turbo burrito.
Oh, I buy that.
I know you'd buy the turbo burrito because it's awesome. It's just a burrito with a mozzarella stick in the middle of it.
Oh God, that sounds amazing.
But like that's how you need to start thinking. And if you give that ammo to a marketing company, that marketing is going to do much better. So
it's your unique selling proposition. Like, that's where I
Exactly.
struggle. I get asked all the time, like, why don't you work with brand new companies? And I'm like, because you guys don't know. There's multiple reasons, but like the bigger one is there's really they have not taken the time, to your point, to figure out their USP, their unique selling proposition. What makes you different? You sell mushroom coffee. Great. What makes you different than Mudwater? What makes you different than Rise? What makes you different than all the other brands that are already out there? That's like it's the supplement industry to me. Same thing with like cosmetics, all like apparel. Where's your unique selling proposition? Why should anybody buy your stuff over anybody else's stuff, or use your service over anybody else's service? If you don't know that and you don't have it, goddamn, does that make our job even harder? Because now I have to try to figure out what your USP is, or try to sell something with that just blends in with everybody else. So I find it hard to work with certain industries, realtors, insurance, financial advisors. You guys, there's not a lot of blue pond inside of that bloody ocean, and it's hard to find that. Like, what makes you different? New e-commerce brands, like, you're brand new. I have a client that, bro, after 45 days, I was like, what you think you're going to build your business on right now is not it. This is what's selling the most. This is where we're going to focus. Are you on board? Because this is the only way I'm doing it. This is what's going to grow the needle. And based on the companies in your space, this is how they did it too. And that's how we're growing it. But like, the business he thought he was in is not the business he's actually in. And that's one thing I've been kind of harping on lately too, is like, you may think you're in the coffee business or the makeup business or something else, but you're actually in an entirely different business, and you're just too focused on that one thing to see the forest through the trees, essentially. That like, you should actually be focusing on a different product, a different service, your USP. And that's just huge. I mean, every business has to have a USP. And I'm honest with like my only USP when it comes to agency work. And I tell people this, they're like, what makes you different? I'm like, honestly, the only difference for me versus every other agency, because we all roughly do the same thing. And there's a core functionality or core foundation of ad structures we all use. My USP is that for the last 19 years, I have grown and built my own companies. I have been in your shoes. I know what it's like to spend your money. I know what it's like to need things to work. So like, that's my USP versus I took a Ty Lopez course and yay, I can run ads like that. But that's my USP as an agency. Otherwise, we're all the same.
Right.
But
I mean, I have the same thing, while we're definitely great at SEO, there's lots of other companies out there that are great at SEO. What they fail on is communication with the customer and reporting.
Yep.
So we spend a lot of time developing our communication workflows and our reporting. We have dedicated reps on every single account that answer within 90 minutes. And that's a high end estimate of response time, So unlike our competition, where they're taking a day, 3 days, 5 days to get back to you on something, or their reporting is kind of poo-poo and like doesn't exist, like, that's our differentiator. And that might sound like, well, duh, you should just be doing that. But the reality is that like, yeah, but no one is.
No, 100%. It blows my mind how many times people are like, you do reports? I'm like, you weren't getting reports from your last agency? Like, wow. Okay.
So a great example, and I don't want to harp on this too long, but like a great example of this If you want to find a company that found their USP and just rode it into the dirt, Liquid Death.
Oh yeah. It's water.
They got into the bottled water market.
Uh-huh.
Bottled water. Like the last big innovation in bottled water was Fiji's square bottles.
True.
Right?
Yep.
And then they come in, they're like, you know what we're going to do? We're going to make water for people that don't want to look like they're drinking water.
Mm-hmm. And they made it edgy.
Yeah. I mean, Liquid Death, one of the use cases that I saw early on was that the owner, the founder he's a big like rock concert, metal concert. Like he goes to a lot of those events and people would like pass out from being dehydrated because they didn't want to be seen drinking water when everyone else is drinking,
Beer.
adult beverages.
Right.
And so that's where the impetus came from, which was like, how can we package water in a way that doesn't feel embarrassing within that crowd?
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with Stanley. How do we elevate the water consumption experience? Two separate products doing functionally the same thing, putting water in your hand. That's what those products do.
Yep.
But they're engineered and geared and built and structured around this concept of like, we're going to serve this group of people. And yeah, not everyone's going to buy this thing. Not everyone's going to buy this thing, but the people who buy this will really buy this.
Well, what's beautiful about like those two examples is you literally hit on the point of like, they found a blue pond inside of a bloody ocean. They found a problem within the giant niche that people had and then have like focused in on that instead of trying to reinvent the entire water industry. Like, no. Here's this problem that we see. So let's fix it and make it cool. And there's that blue pond in there. And now they just dominate that sector of canned water. Like,
I mean, LaCroix is another example.
Yeah.
They made water for people who have no taste buds.
100%. Like the worst sparkling water you could ever drink, but people drink it. Give me a Sprite instead. Holy crap. But yeah. No, 100%. And they did a little bit of research into what do people have problems with? Like, yeah, 100%. You don't want to go to a rock concert and be looking like you're drinking water while everybody else is standing around with a can of Bud Light or Michelob or whatever. And so yeah, you want to look like you blend in. And Liquid Death does, to me, dude, like when it first came out, I thought it was a beer. I didn't think it was I didn't know it was water. So somebody finally told me, no, it's water. I was like, oh, that's crazy.
Yep.
Brilliant though.
We should get into our 7 minutes in heaven.
7 minutes with Jake and Mitch. That's our theme song for it.
Is that the theme song now?
Yeah.
I mean, it was a long time coming.
Yeah. You should have the editor clip that and then we'll play that every time before we get into this.
Oh man. I can't believe that we got Daft Punk to write that for us.
They're great guys. Great guys.
Okay, so this is where we're going to break down a website. We've got one here. We're just going to jump in. I'm hitting the timer. Let's go. 7 minutes of heaven with CES Roofing and go. Over 7 million square feet of installed roof systems.
Where do you see that?
Oh, 10 million? 10
million.
Right at the top.
Yeah.
Over 10 million. Sorry.
Over 10 million. Over 10 million square feet of installed roof systems. Hooked on Phonics worked for you. That
American education, baby.
Yeah. It is a little hard to read, like that overlay in the black. I mean, I get it, but like it's just I don't know. That was my eye went right there first to that white box or kind of see-through box. The line below, commercial, industrial, and residential roofing specialist. Like I can't read that. I don't know if you can, but like that was gone. There it is. So I mean, I don't know. I would see if you could update that or make it better.
Also, there's just some styling issues here where it's going edge to edge, like true edge to edge.
Yeah.
It's not doing a like padded full width. So by doing that, subliminally, you are reducing the trust factor of your site. Not having a modern designed site hurts your chances.
Mm-hmm. I don't mind for me, I don't know that it's bad to have like that image, but even then I would take those. Maybe that's what's bugging me is the fact that like, yeah, those words or everything are way to the left. If you're going to have that, I always prefer to have, if you have a hero image or a slider, the words be centered.
That's fair. I think that this could use a little bit of restructure Commercial, industrial, and residential roofing specialist should probably be your H1 tag, your biggest piece of text, because that tells people why they're here, right? Why am I here? Oh, they're roofing specialists. And then the over 10 million square feet of installed roof systems, maybe convert that into like a badge, like a gold star kind of badge, blue ribbon, something, as like a, wow, they've really done this.
Mm-hmm. The navigation, I would love to see that more centered. If we're talking desktop, like it's just everything's way too left for me.
That's
Aesthetically,
fair.
there's just a giant white spot there, and I would want that more centered.
Yeah, and honestly, like you could even break out, you list commercial, industrial, residential. If I'm any one of those three, but I'm specifically one of them, where do I go next?
Yeah.
So it might be under services here, and it is, but this is a spot where you could improve adoptability of the site by giving people that you've now bucketed, right? You created the buckets, commercial,
Mhm.
industrial, and residential. If I fall into one of those buckets, give me the thing to click next. I've self-identified.
Mhm.
Another thing here is just these walls of text.
Nobody's
Like,
reading it.
I'm halfway to a nap right now because I am not going to read that. I'm just not.
No. Then there's nothing exciting about it. It's like, look what they're talking about them. This is what we've done. Cool.
That's true. That's true. You're not telling a story that I'm involved in,
right.
right? Some partners, it's not really social proof because they're vendors, but
Right.
you'll probably get away with it. Services we offer: commercial roofing, maintenance and repair, residential roofing. Okay. I don't like read more, but at least there's a button there. Our difference. This is interesting. I don't like the layout, but this is better.
Why does that one have a number 1 in front of it? Number 1 manufacturer, tier 1 certified. What?
Look at this one.
Yeah.
Look at me.
If you wanted to do that, just make it red. Screw it.
I just want to put a little Batman in there now. Look at me.
Oh my god, do it. Where are the drugs?
We're the certified contractor.
Dude, that'd be great.
Over 1 million square feet and sold. I already know this. And I'm not going to
Mhm.
read your text. Especially this little line here that is probably, I don't know, 12-point font. Do not go below 14-point font. And that should only be used in extremely rare cases where you have massive grids of options. Like if you have Eventbrite, I always look at Eventbrite because they have such a well-designed site. They use 14-point font as their smallest font, and it's only on the blocks of the events where it tells you what type of event it is. So music, movie, arts, whatever it is. That's the only time that they use that size font. Everything else is 16-point font or bigger.
Yeah, I skipped right over that line.
Yep. Is there a button here? There's no button. Schedule a free evaluation. Where?
Oh, there's not even a button? I mean, I can't even say I like big buttons. There's just no button.
Oh my goodness. Where's the beef, guys?
You can't even click on CES roofing and take you there? No button. Wow. Ouch.
Rage click. Your locations, that's good. How can we help? Oh, here we go. Now we have a button.
Sweet.
Also, one thing to point out here, a lot of websites do this where they put in the schedule and the contact us button together.
Right.
Which one do you want them to do?
I would want them to schedule a free evaluation.
All right, so drop the other one.
No.
Don't give people choices. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm going to reveal some of my past here. I used to do a lot of sleight of hand magic.
Ooh.
Half of magic is making people feel like they're picking.
True.
So in this scenario, if you are going to have the two buttons, make them go to the same spot.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to know.
No.
Wow. Well, we burned through those 7 minutes, man.
Yes. I also
I'm
felt
not
like we were already
satisfied.
at the footer. I already felt like we were already at the footer, but we're not even at the footer.
Double footer.
Yeah, it felt like a double footer.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not just me being crazy.
I hope it was as good for you as it was for me.
Tier 1 certified contractor. Full system manufacturer warranties.
Quality products you can trust.
Oh God.
Oh my gosh. Warner Brothers, don't sue me, please.
Oh, that's great. I love it.
Oh my gosh. I feel like I need to get like a Batman mask so we can do that in the future.
Dude, we should do a whole episode with Batman masks on and only Batman voices.
Oh man. We already only have a couple viewers.
That's hey, they might enjoy it. I mean,
Maybe.
all 19 of them.
My voice might not survive.
We'll be done for the day at that point. Or one could be like Batman, the other one could be Gollum.
I'm trying to think of who I can do a good impression of. I don't have any great impressions. I have some okay impressions.
Yeah, I don't
like
really-
one line.
I don't have any good impressions.
No.
Even my accents, like I'll start with like try to be Irish and then it turns into like Middle Eastern pretty quickly.
Top of the morning to ya.
Yeah. Yours is way better.
Tis a
than mine.
Blarney day.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks so much for tuning in today to the Hold My Beer Marketing Podcast. Mitch, if I want to contact you, find you, work with you, whatever I might, just stare at your beautiful face, where can I do that?
All over the interwebs, all your social media platforms as Beardpreneur.
Excellent. And if you do want to happen to contact me, please find me at The Wizard Marketing. That's thewizard.marketing if you're looking in your URL, or The Wizard Marketing on your favorite social platform. You can find this podcast on your favorite platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or even YouTube. If you'd like to have your website featured in the 7 Minutes in Heaven segment, please do drop a comment on the YouTube video. Doesn't matter which one, which episode, we'll pull from all of them. So please do that. And any closing thoughts, Mitch?
I just want people, if they submit a website, like let us know what voice you want to use. I feel like we should make this a thing now. Like we should. We would like.
No.
Do you want us? What character do you want us to do the review as? That's my closing thought. Like, yeah, let's just. I'm taking this thing off the rails. I'm back, baby. You might have had a normal podcast with Matt, but I'm back. I'm derailing this thing.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to start working on my impressions.
Well, they don't. I'm not saying they have to be good. We just, we're just gonna do it. Like
this podcast has the best impressions. Absolutely amazing.
Huge. I can't even do a Trump. But we need to get like Shane Gillis on here to do his Trump. He's great at Trumps.
Shane Gillis,
dude. I saw him on Saturday.
That was another article I didn't bring up. He did an ad for Bud Light. That's really, really funny. So go check that out. Otherwise, we'll catch you next week. Have a good one. Adios.